Welcome to the Concoction Podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. Today we have my good friend Brady. Brady, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Levi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Today we're doing something different, I guess. First of all, we're starting with weird ass beer. Strawberry lemonade. That's actually not bad.
It's not bad, yeah.
I'm very
The Natty
surprised.
Lights.
I told him earlier I was going to crack some jokes, but I changed my mind, man. It tastes really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, hopefully, I mean, we're not gonna say the name, but probably it's gonna show in camera anyway. So
Yeah,
free advertisement, and hopefully they don't get mad if they get to see it.
right. And I'm sure people who drink it notice the can and
Yeah.
will get tempted to take a little
Were
break.
you saying that that's a popular beer around people who
Yeah,
loves?
like the hockey guys, the guys on the team love the Natty Daddies.
Right.
That's a popular one.
Is that the nickname?
Yeah,
Okay.
the natural latte.
All right, gotcha. Natural latte.
Well, let's start with tell us a little bit about you, so that way people know who we're talking to.
What you do, a little bit about you, and why we even brought up hockey in the first place.
Yeah, I'm actually the program director for MSU Denver's hockey team. Played all my life. My older brother played, so I did everything he did. So I started playing about 4 years old. Played the junior game for a couple years. We can get into that later. I got some good ones from then.
Nice.
Played at Metro. I played for 3 years, and then my body couldn't take it anymore. So I hung it up, let the kids play, and stayed on as an assistant coach. And now I'm in year 3. So
Cool.
Nice.
Are you here in Denver or Fort Collins? Or?
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah.
So MSU is Metro State
Oh, the Metro-
University.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got
Metro
all
State.
I got all confused with the.
It's in Aurora campus, right?
Yep, Aurora campus,
Yeah.
right downtown.
Nice.
So
Is a new program or there been?
no, I came on my freshman year playing was the 5th or 6th year of the program. So they were like fairly established at that point. It was still a little bush league.
Gotcha.
It was still,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And like to get the conversation rolling, I wanted to actually ask you. I know you mentioned your brother's connection with hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you personally, how in Colorado did you or your brother? It sounds like you followed your brother. So like in this case, your brother and you, how you guys got into hockey in Colorado. It's not very big here. Like you just said, the program itself for hockey at your university had some grassroots while you were there. So like, how did hockey get rooted into you?
Well, my family is actually from Buffalo, New York. So I was there.
Makes sense.
And we moved out here when I was pretty young, like 1st or 2nd grade.
Okay.
So it kind of just started playing street hockey, and our neighbors, my brother was friends with all the older kids, so I would just tag along. Like I said, I wanted to do everything that he did.
Right.
So naturally, like a younger brother, and they were awesome. They let me play with them and beat the shit out of me, but it made me better. Yeah, and I played growing up. I played in high school. I played club in Fort Collins.
Perfect.
Which was pretty fun. And then aged out, and I went to Washington State, played up there.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Played for a juniors program there called the Seattle Totems,
Okay.
which was a whole nother world. The junior game is a lot of drinking.
Okay.
We were terrible. My first year, I think we won 11 games.
But it didn't
out of
matter.
60. So it wasn't great. We were pretty terrible, but it was a lot of fun, man. And I had a good experience up there, and came back to Colorado, and it's actually kind of where I met Levi. Him and I were working at the same hotel. And I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't going to school. I was just kind of being a degenerate, smoking cigarettes and drinking.
We were working at the right place.
Yeah, right.
Living the life.
Yep, living the life. So it wasn't until I decided to go back to school, I was like, well, I'll give it a shot, see if I can play still.
Okay.
Kind of reached out to the program director at the time, and he was like, yeah, come on out. Like my background or whatever. I told him I tricked them into taking me on the team and walked on. So
And that's the MSU team.
yeah.
So
that's
you
Metro State.
you actually called them. You got a hold of them, and kind of like back in the days, they would send their tape, right? Their tape of their
Yeah.
work. You kind of did the equivalent of that.
Yeah, I reached out and was, you know, hey, I'm gonna be at Metro State in the fall. Like, you guys, you know, want to take a look at me? He said, yeah, come on out. I went out to a couple of their like practice skates, not really like a team led practice, and
Right.
they were like, yeah, come on back, keep
Yeah.
coming back. So
Has hockey, college hockey, has the same thing like in football, like levels or divisions?
yes,
Or, yeah?
Sure.
yes,
Is the first division is like the main one? Or?
yes.
So-
So college hockey, we'll kind of get into it. So Division I is full scholarship guys. We're Division II. There's also Division III. So there's NCAA and what's called the American Collegiate Hockey Association,
Okay.
which is for the programs like us that don't have a varsity program, don't have an NCAA program. It's, you could call it's like it's
Almost like club.
almost like club, with the exception, you know, like for instance, our team right now, our group of guys, our top 6 forwards are NCAA transfers.
Gotcha.
You know, we have an NCAA Division I transfer. We have, you know, 3 or 4 NCAA Division III transfers.
And speaking of that, what is the difference in college hockey between Division One, Division Two, when it comes to like scholarships or like the type of tournaments you could get into? Like, because we know the difference is huge in football. So is that such a difference in hockey exist or not? Not quite.
It's very similar to college football, or like college basketball, in the sense the NCAA programs. Those kids are like, you're talking, they're draft picks. Our head coach right now, his name is Steve Quayler. He's, you know, I've been with him for 5 years now, playing for him and now coaching with him. And he was drafted out of the junior game when he was 17 years old.
Wow.
By the Montreal Canadiens. Went to college, and played NCAA Division I at Northeastern. So he was full scholarship. You know, they roll out the red carpet. They're playing in front of, you know, 10,000 people a night. So that's the big difference.
The big difference.
Yeah, is those kids, a lot of them are like, they're draft picks. They're going to the next level. Our kids, you know, our league, there's some kids that play lower division pro. There's some kids that, you know, can play overseas.
Gotcha.
But really their shot at making an NHL team is long gone.
Long gone. Gotcha.
So we kind of are, you know, a lot of like the transfers that I talked about earlier. I mean, one was, you know, wasn't happy at where he was at. It's from Colorado, decided to come back and, you know, didn't
Just
think
play
he was
hockey.
gonna play. Yeah. Didn't think he was going to play anymore, or wanted to, you know, we get kind of lucky. We get a lot of the guys that are like, well, my girlfriend, you know, I had an NCAA offer, but my girlfriend, I don't want to leave her. Like, you know, my family's here. Like,
Thank God for those girlfriends.
Yeah. We got a list of 4 or 5 I send Christmas cards to. Like, appreciate you keeping Austin here. He's,
Right. Yeah.
so,
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it's still, like I said, a lot of those kids that don't get an offer or don't get a good look, or just, you know, aren't in the right place at the right time. I mean, this is a spot for them. And they're very, very talented and very skilled. And for whatever reason, you know, they got hurt their senior year of high school, or
Gotcha.
they, you know, didn't get the offer that they wanted, or whatever it may be, they end up here.
Is it fair to say then that Metro State has a lot of like passionate players? Because there's players that know they're not going to the next level, but are good enough to play, or just love the game in general. They're literally playing for love, right? Or playing for passion, maybe.
Yeah. We kind of pride ourselves on like the culture that we have within our program is very, very open. You know, you bring a guy in and it's not a cliquey kind of. I mean, you guys played sports, you know how that is. Where you're like, I don't like this team, or I don't like this coach,
or even within the
you know,
team.
yeah, like the guys on the team just aren't fun to be around. Like our guys,
right.
you know, party with each other, they hang out with each other. It's a good time, and it's a good culture where they want to be good, and it makes it easy for me as a coach because it takes very little motivation for me to be like, guys, like we've been there. Like I talked about the lean years. Like there was a couple lean years in there. Like, you know, my last year playing was a lean year. I was lucky. My freshman and sophomore year, both years we went to the national tournament.
Nice. Which is equivalent to the big dance, I guess, in college hockey.
Take 16 teams, best 16 go, and you play pool play basically. So it was nice. But it has also kind of spoiled it for me because now it's like just trying to get back there, like get back to
because you tasted it, you want it more.
You know,
I mean, but that should be that's the good attitude, I think. You know, you want to be there, you want to take your program to that level, right? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Exactly.
Did you guys have like a Cinderella stories where like the one guy will make it to the professionals? And
we do have a kid on our roster now who, if I'm completely honest, shouldn't even be at this program. I mean,
he's too good.
Well, he had committed to Nebraska Omaha Division I, NCHC, like arguably the best college hockey conference in the nation.
Gotcha.
You know, kid is incredible. For whatever reason, didn't work out for him there.
What's his girlfriend's name in Colorado?
No, it wasn't his girlfriend actually. So he wouldn't mind me telling, but he actually got suspended.
Okay.
By the NCAA.
It happens.
So he played in the Western Hockey League, which is a junior league in Canada.
Okay.
By NCAA standards, it's technically pay to play. Once you're a paid athlete, you can't play. So he had committed to Nebraska Omaha. He had played 2 games up there. So his coaches there, they were like, well, you know, I think we'll be okay. You might get a suspension for, you know, a semester or whatever. They threw the book at him and gave him 2-year suspension.
Wow.
Jeez.
So our goal now is he served 1 year of it. We're going to have him back for another year, and hopefully we can keep him sharp and then try to move him on to a bigger program.
Oh man, that's awesome.
How long you can play in college? Like, as long
you
as
have
your career or
eligibility. How long can you be eligible for?
5 years.
5 years?
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's 4 years playing, and you get like a red shirt year.
Okay.
Will too many kids stay 5 years, or they just
at our program we usually get like 3, and then the kids like, you know, a lot of it is these guys come out of the junior game and they're 18 or 19, 20, and they're burned out. So they get here and they play a couple years and they're like, fuck dude, I'm ready to go work and like have a life, because it is demanding. You know, you're on the ice 5 days a week. It's another job. You know, it's hard to like work and play and go to school and you know. So a lot of these guys, we get 2 or 3 years out of them. They're like, I can't do it anymore. Time to grow up.
So, is it fair to say that you felt something similar? So I guess what I want you kind of to touch on, because I know you personally, and I'm kind of interested more so than the whole program in general. Some Brady stories, man. So Brady's currently an assistant coach, and he was a player.
Yep.
So some Brady stories as a player, some of your best moments as a player, as a coach, and I guess I know the answer. I would say, which one do you like best? But obviously it would be play. Yeah. But like the best moments of both, I guess.
As a player, I mean, you're in it. You know, there's it sounds goofy, but fuck, sometimes I just like miss like
the adrenaline,
like getting hit by a big guy and just be like, all right, I'm you know what I mean? I guess like,
I'm game,
you're like a boxer or something. Like, you know how it is playing. Like,
absolutely,
coaching is fun and it's rewarding when your guys do well. I kind of had like a nice deal the last 2 years. Like, I'm coaching kids now that I played with.
Nice. So the friendship is there.
Yeah,
They respect what
yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
One of my very good friends, he was the captain of the team this year. He was a senior All-American, and it was awesome to like see him succeed and stuff as a coach.
Gotcha.
But playing, there's nothing like it, man. Just
I
being with the boys, being one of the guys, the games, like there's some crazy ones. Like I said, my first year, it wasn't nearly what it is now,
Right.
like we were practicing at 10 o'clock at night and, playing games and wild play. Here's a good one. So we go to Albuquerque my freshman year and we're playing UNM.
Okay.
And it's for starters, they're like, okay, well, we can't get a bus. There's nobody that can bus us. The Metro bus is in use. So they're like, all right, we got to rent vans. We're going to take 15 passenger vans, drive them 7 hours to Albuquerque.
Wow.
Like, sick. Okay. Strike number 2.
Uh-huh.
It's during the balloon festival. The hot air balloon festival?
Yeah, in New Mexico.
Yeah. Which is really cool. Sidebar. It's really cool. But so all the hotels are just crushed. There's not the only hotel we get into is like the Roach Coach Motel, on like Central Ave in Albuquerque, which if you've ever been to Albuquerque is a dirty, dirty place.
Serial killers.
Oh yeah. So we're like, all right.
So starting with the balloons, they were cool, but not hockey cool.
No.
And then you get your Roach hotels.
Yeah. Then we're like, oh, we can't stay at an Embassy Suites. Like, so we get to this hotel. The van ride is just, it's 7 hours straight in a van driving to Albuquerque. So that's pretty sick. Like that was a lot of fun. So we get there that first night we play, and UNM just apparently has a ridiculous fan base. Like we get there and it's just already
University of New Mexico has a fan base, really?
Yeah, for their hockey team.
For their hockey team, of all things, in the hottest state in the world, yeah.
Dude, and it's bananas. Like I'll never forget this. There's like this big fat guy wearing a Jerry Rice jersey and he's just banging on the fuck you, Metro. Like they're like getting wild up there. And it's like 1,500 maybe. Like the first night. We crush
That's a good college crowd, man.
Yeah. First night, it's like 7-1. It's just like we shit on them, right? So we're all thinking like, all right, tomorrow night's going to be a freaking rollover, So we get back to the hotel, our scumbag hotel, and all the guys like, you room with 3 other guys. We're on a budget here. You know what I mean? So you just like sharing a
two
queen
beds,
bed.
3 guys?
Yeah, 2 beds, 4 guys.
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
So you just like pick your road roommate wisely. Hopefully pick a little guy who doesn't snore. You know what I mean? So we all go out and just get smothered drunk. Having a good time, right?
Would it do it?
So we're like, all right, well, there's a couple bars down the road. Like, let's roll down here. So we're walking down Central Ave. First block, it's like 1%er biker gang. Like scary biker gang. We're like, what the fuck?
Recently inspired by the Netflix, right? Sons of Anarchy,
like some Hell's Angels or something. So we're like, all right, next block, there's got to be a better bar. We walk another block, and it's like the MS-13 Sureños. Like
you got Juan,
dude,
Pedro.
In New Mexico, what do you expect,
bro? I was like, oh my god. So what do we do here? So we keep going. So we end up at this bar, and it's called Les Beaux, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's right next to a strip club. And there's 2 strippers fighting out front. And we're like, all right, looks good. Like
2 strippers fighting.
Fist fighting.
You had beer and 2 strippers fighting?
Yeah.
He made a night of it. Yeah.
So we're like, all right. So we roll into this bar. It's a gay bar. I didn't pick up on the Les Beaux name. But so we're having a good time.
Little weak on your friends?
Yeah. They got like pizzas and stuff in this place. It's just a scummy bar. Eventually, like somebody says something, offends somebody in there. I don't know who it was, but like, so now all the gays are mad at us, so we get kicked out of there. So we gotta roll. Love the gays, by the way. Like I'm
right.
They're awesome.
Even the violent ones.
even the drunk and violent ones.
It happens. Yeah.
But so that stems a whole nother conversation of like, can you beat up can you beat up a gay guy?
That's a good question. Luckily, I've never had to answer it.
You know what I mean?
But you did. So
I didn't. But it just like, so we're having that conversation on the way back. We're like outside our hotel. This guy rolls up. He's like, "Hey, you guys have another beer for me?" Like, no, man. Like,
right, we don't deliver.
He's just, all right. Well, you got a cigarette? We're like, nobody here smokes cigarettes, man.
Yeah.
He's like, well, the cops are looking for me. We're like, well, you better go, man. We're not gonna vouch for you. You better get out of here. He's like, I just stabbed a guy. Fuck you guys. He's like, just motherfucking us up and down the street. And next thing I know, like the police are like rolling down the street. Sure as shit. Hey, you see a guy over here? We're like, right there. Parking lot right across the street.
Behind the bush.
Yeah. So long story short, we turned it in. The next day, we still got a game the next day.
Right.
So we get to the rink early. I'm like doing my warm up and I'm like watching like kind of from afar, like all the people filing in. I'm like, dude, this one is like going to be bigger than last night. Jeez. Like, this is crazy, right. Which like, I always thrived in that. You know what I mean? You like, crowd, playing in like, especially when you're like the villain, you know, like playing in front of a big crowd or whatever. Right. Like, that's the best. Doesn't get any better than that.
What are they? Let's go watch the thing who beat the gay people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Half the crowd was the gay guys like, get Metro.
Yeah. So, no, we didn't see anybody there from the night before. But it's a tight game. And this one, like their goalie's standing on his head, right? Man. Just like, 55 saves or something. We're up 2-1. There's about 4 or 5 minutes left in the third period, and it turns into a gong show. These guys are fighting. Guys are getting kicked out. They're screaming at us like big Jerry Rice in the stands. Right, I see him, and he's banging on the glass. Fuck you like calling people out. All of a sudden, he's shaking it. Whole thing just shatters right onto the ice. So we're all staring at Jerry Rice like, oh my God.
It's that Jerry Rice strength, man.
Dude,
Jesus.
Fat Jerry Rice was an animal.
So
I'm like standing at
the jersey.
Yeah. I'm standing at the circle around the officials. I'm like, what are you guys going to do? Like, we get another piece of glass in here, like finish this game. They're like, no, like we don't have another piece of glass. We can put a cone over there.
A cone.
He's like, we could sweep the glass up and put a cone right there. I was like, oh, what? And just ask nobody to go over there? Like,
exactly. I was about to say, like, just make sure don't
Dude, meanwhile, our coaching staffs are like yelling back and forth, like, this is ridiculous. They're having their, and I'm standing next to one of their kids. I'm like, dude, I've never seen a gong show quite like this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Rodeo / wrestling match /
Yeah. So the referees are like, all right, we'll go over to the practice rink. And I was like, oh my God. They roll up these doors on the side, like Zamboni doors or whatever. And there's just like ice that goes all the way around. And it's like a speed skating track or whatever. So they're like, yeah, let's just go over to the other side.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, all right, cool. We resolved it. We're going to finish the game on the other rink. All 1,500 of their fans move over to the other side of the ring.
All the fans had to move.
Everybody moves to this little shitty practice rink. And so I skate onto the ice. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's the figure skating rink. So the benches are legitimately like paper mache. It's like a scene from the Alamo. And it's like paper mache. You got to like go in. Like,
they had just performed or something.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God. So we get in there. Mind you, like nobody's focused at this point. So,
why would you be? Yeah.
Yeah. So we go in and, long story, kind of wrap it up. We end up winning, but I go out for my last shift and I'm lined up and I see guy like yelling over the top of the glass. My D partner, I played defense. My D partner's tall, gangly guy. Like 6'5".
Wow.
130 pounds soaking
playing
wet.
Hockey, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was sick, but he was just like very thin. I hear this guy like, hey, 23. I was like, here we go. Hit a gym. Chicken legs. Chicken legs. The entire crowd chanting chicken legs. I was dying. We win the face off. I just like shot the puck in and went and changed because I was like, I can't play right now. I was dying laughing. But it was crazy.
Hit the gym.
Hit the gym, 23. Chicken legs.
Now,
I was crying.
Out of that whole story, man, what my curiosity is, did you eat pizza in that dirty
In
gay
Labo?
bar? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You ate pizza
Yeah.
in the dirty bar.
Yep.
Brady,
I was on
you
the.
continue to surprise me.
Buddy, I'm eating tacos at a strip club. Like,
Yes, I want to
this
say.
guy-
I was like, I'm in the
pizza
worst
in a gay
places.
bar. I mean, come on.
If anything, that must just be good. I
Yeah, they're not putting their dicks in the pizza.
He says that at least they were neat.
well done.
Very neat.
Well decorated.
So, but it was crazy, man. Like, I love that though.
That was a good
Yeah.
Brady story, man.
Yeah.
But now you're on the other end. Now you're a coach. Now you get to coach these guys or your players acting out and stuff. How do you balance that? So some good
Well,
coaching stories.
Yeah, what do you like? What do you do when it's a fight? When the fight just starts, like you as a coach, you're like just cheering for your guy.
It depends. It depends on the situation. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I've told the New Mexico story to all the kids, and none of them want to go to New Mexico. I've been telling them for 2 years, like, we got to go back. It was an awesome time. We had a great time.
And they're thinking like everything you've said is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
They're like, no, it's a gong show. But coaching is different, man. Like,
so what? Like you gave us a good like Brady player story. What's a good coaching Brady story? Like I know it has to be different. I'm sure it's a little bit more decent. Like. And I mean clean, a little different. So what's a good coaching Brady story?
I mean, kind of going back to like being the villain. I like our head coach. He's the X's and O's guy. He has his hockey IQ is just off the charts. So I kind of let him do the strategy shit.
Okay.
And I'll come in with like a fire motivational speech.
You'll get him riled up.
Yeah,
You're the emotional guy.
I like to go in there and like get him going and get him like,
So
get him motivated, and then he can take over and be like, all right, boys,
all right.
let's channel that. And
Out of all
do
the
this, blah,
bullshit
blah, blah.
Brady said, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, no,
Do you take lines from like those emotional movies?
dude,
like
you know what?
those
I try to do my research, and like I'll look up like motivational quotes or like sometimes
the
it's
Al
like
Pacino speech.
Yeah,
they got
exactly.
him watching a movie before the game. It's like, hold on. Here's
this is
a
gonna be
scene
a
where
fire
it's
one. Yeah, no, like some of them like are like Bruce Lee has a ton of them, like
Right.
the warrior quotes, and like some of them are like those kind of things to like get him
Right.
going. Some of them are like a future quote, like, listen, like my mama didn't raise a no ho,
Right.
and that'll get him going. It just
And
depends.
you're hoping it sticks.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
take it with you.
As long
Yeah,
as don't watch the wrong movie, like watching The Notebook.
yeah, exactly. No notebook quotes, but we were in Utah State last year in Logan, which is same kind of thing, man. Like those are honestly the best places to play. It's like the kind of shitty little towns that are like off the beat in like Cody, Wyoming, back to like junior hockey.
Oh wow.
Like
They have nothing else to watch, right?
Yeah.
So to have a villain come into town,
Yeah.
everybody's there, everybody's ready.
Yep. And
Yeah.
like, so we did the Utah trip. So we go out and we play BYU and Provo.
Nice.
And then we'll play Weber State and Ogden. We'll play Utah State and Logan.
Nice.
It's all within like
A
hour
few
and a
mi-
half
yeah,
of Salt
right.
Lake. BYU, like same thing. They just bring people out to those games. And it's all that like tight knit Mormon community.
Right.
And they just like give you the soft Mormon chirps. Just, you suck. You suck, 18.
18.
You're bad, but I love you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we love you guys coming out. This is great, but you guys are terrible.
18, you don't play
Yeah,
well.
and it's crazy, man. You have 500 people sitting behind the penalty box, just like telling you you're an idiot because you take a
man.
penalty. It's almost worse. But Utah State, so we go out there and I'm coaching at this point, and same thing. They get, I think their like home opener last year they had 3,000. So it's
Wow.
bananas.
3,000 home opener, huh?
It's
Oh,
bananas
Jesus.
the way they fill that place.
Well, imagine all the wives and no, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Right. The husband
You
with
have
his
7
4
wives.
wives and 9 kids, right?
Yeah, and I mean Logan is less Mormon, but it's like they're just like shit kickers out there.
Gotcha.
It's like country.
Gotcha.
It's Greeley and Denver and Fort Collins kind of thing.
Kind
They're
of
the Greeley. of Utah.
Oh God!
Right
Now we understand.
Yeah, now you get it. So I'm like, you know, in my nice suit, I'm standing on the bench, and we're up. We come in, we're like playing the villain role again, and I think we were winning like 6-2 or something at that point. This drunk student section right behind us, this guy bangs on the glass, and I feel the glass shake kind of, and I look back, and he's just right behind our coach. Fuck you!
Oh man,
giving him 2 strong middle fingers.
not weak.
They were strong.
They were the good ones.
Strong.
Yeah.
He goes up to our other assistant, bangs on the glass, same thing, 2 strong middle fingers. I was like, oh God, here he comes. It's my turn now.
Oh man.
Bangs on the glass. I'm like staring at him, and I could tell he's got the chameleon eyes. He's looking 5 different ways. Fuck you, strong middle fingers, as he's walking out. Fuck you guys, you pieces of shit. Trips and falls down all of the stairs.
Oh,
the paramedics have to come and get him and drag his ass out of there.
Oh man.
I was like, yeah, that's why I was like, that's
hockey.
That's
That's
perfect.
That's
Yeah.
instant karma.
that's the hockey gods being
Yeah.
like striking you down.
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's the Mormon gods being
yeah,
like
the
that.
Mormon gods were like,
Yeah,
listen,
there you go.
buddy,
That's
Yeah.
enough. You're
That's
not
enough.
being nice.
you're not being nice. You know, calling them ugly is one thing.
Right. But you got
Strong middle fingers is another.
it's another. You used your hands.
Yeah.
You
You
labored
used your
to
hands.
do this.
Yeah.
How, do you get upset now as a coach when you get fans like that?
No, I love it because those guys.
Protective of
Yeah.
your kids, maybe.
I am to a point. I haven't yet had that experience where I had to like kind of step in for one of our players. But like to kind of circle back, you said about like if you know the guys are fighting or if it's a chippy game, that's when I do get protective.
Okay.
But once again, I'm kind of in a unique position where like these are kids that I played with.
They're your buddies, yeah.
they're my friends. So
Yeah.
like if you know one of my guys gets run or if he gets hit in a vulnerable position that I don't like, then yeah, like
It's personal, yeah.
that's my job, you know, as the coach. When you're a player, you can talk all the shit you want. You can yell and harass all the players. As a coach, you can't talk to the players.
Right.
So I can't tell this kid he's a piece of shit.
Right.
Or I'm gone.
Or you're gone. Yeah.
I'm getting fined and suspended, you know. So
You're
like,
looking for his car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what I was about to say. Are the fines are like big or there's
they're not like in comparison to like, you know, like a professional game, but like even just having to like get a suspension for 2 games where I don't get to be on the bench. I don't get to be around the team. Like,
Right.
you know, and not to mention like, that's my job. If I'm not there for my job,
Right.
like what the hell am I doing?
yeah.
Right.
So that's when, yeah, I do get protective of them. Cause yeah, they're my boys.
course.
They're your boys. You want them to do well. You want them to succeed. And if you think somebody is being an idiot, that's the beauty of hockey though, is it allows you to kind of police yourself, you know?
It polices itself as a game.
For instance, kid comes down and he hits one of our players in a vulnerable position. Okay, well, we have 4 guys on our bench, and I'm saying, you got the green light on him. Go take his helmet off and beat the fuck out of him. Like,
Right.
go let them know, make a statement that like that's not acceptable. And if you're gonna run around and you're gonna do that, you can't fight in college. You wear cages.
Of
It's
course.
different than the junior game, different than the pro game. But you can.
But you can.
But you can.
But you can.
You can't, but you can.
So what's the rules on that?
you
on
get a
fighting?
one game suspension.
if you fight.
Yeah.
So as soon if there's a fight, as soon as they start, the referees go and break it down.
The referees will let them, like, you don't want to get in the middle of it, and then you can take a punch or you know.
Right.
So they'll let them fight until they're tired out and to a point where you can go in and be like, all right, it's done, right? Or if it gets too one-sided, that's kind of the general rule on fighting. But like, it's not just fighting for fighting's sake. It's a lot of it is, you know, you're protecting our players. Like I said, college, you can't really fight. There's not like a fight again. At juniors, some of those junior games, you know, there's 7-8 fights in a game. You know, like it's just every 19-year-old kid that's all horned up just wants
because
to go.
are training for UFC.
Exactly. and yeah, like the thing about it is though, is that you forget that, you know, our roster is made up of kids that played the junior game and like fought 5 times.
Right.
You know,
So their
in a month.
mentality is
so they
fight first, talk later.
Not necessarily. They know how to if it does get to a point where it's like, listen, something needs to happen here. You get a green light. You know, I can think of 2 or 3 guys on our team now that like not in the college game, but in the junior game, they were those guys that went out there and just dummied people.
Yeah, I saw a documentary about like I don't remember the player. They were talking about how they on the big game, big teams, they have one guy who is specific to, I guess, take care of the star.
Yeah,
and
the enforcer. The enforcer. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, probably from the point of view of the star,
right?
You have a bodyguard, pretty much. Yeah.
And that sounds unique to hockey, right? Like Christian saying, they have maybe a specific enforcer that's good at fighting.
Yeah.
The game polices itself. And speaking of things that are unique to hockey, like I wanted to touch up on the culture of hockey, because the culture of hockey, here we are drinking a hockey beer, right?
Yep.
You're telling hockey type stories that you don't hear in any other sport.
Yeah.
So touch on the differences between hockey culture to any other sport at college level or hockey in general that you've noticed.
I mean, I'm biased, of course, but I think hockey is different in a sense that, like, I've seen it, I've done it. These guys play through anything. They, like, you think about, for instance, you can't take a guy out. He refuses to come out of the game, whether he's lost his teeth, whether he has stitches in his eye, whether his, you know what I mean, his hand is broken, his shoulders separated. You know, our captain this year, Anthony, all first team All-American, played with a separated shoulder the last 2.5 months.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Eventually he's like, all right, well, can I hurt it any worse? No. All right, well then I'm gonna fucking play. You know? Like I'll play through it. You know, and it's a tough game. The camaraderie that you get, I think is also special because you have 25 guys that, you know, night in and night out, they have your back. They go to bat for you. I mean,
does this camaraderie, let me get the word right, this friendship, does it carry past the game? Does it carry past the practices?
Absolutely. Some of the best friends I've made, you know, are hockey guys.
Gotcha.
You know, that, like, you know, you could ask them for the shirt off their back, they give it to you.
Wow.
I think it differs from, like, I mean, I'll shit on the NBA a little bit, but, like, those guys, like, don't play through a cramp. They don't play through, you know, an elbow sprain. Like, they're there for their paycheck. There's no interest in just, I want to win a championship or I want to do something that I'm not going to ever forget. Like, I'm here, I'll play.
Gotcha.
You know, it depends on how hard I want to go that night. And I don't think you get that
anywhere else. Would you say, what would you compare it to, Christian? If you thought of a sport that could compare to hockey, or Brady, would you say football maybe? When it comes to that go to war with you, that friendship, that play while you're hurt.
I think football is closer,
but not quite.
Yeah. Basketball, like, I mean, I think at the college game, basketball, you do get that. Because those kids are playing for something. They're playing for their school. They're playing for their boys. They're, you know, the senior kids. Not so much anymore with, like, the one and done now.
Right.
You know, but
with the LeBrons coming up.
Yeah. I think you do get that. And those are the teams that I love to watch. Like, I'm a sports guy. Football, same thing. I think you can get it to a degree, you know, of the guys that are like, listen, they want to win. You can tell. Right. That these guys are for it. They're about it. They're about each other, you know. And I love that. I love those close-knit teams. Hockey can be like those other sports as well. I'm not saying every team is like that. Right. I've definitely been on teams that were just guys phoning it in and kind of just casual as it gets. But
I was about to ask you, do you think maybe on the first division teams, there might be more like more like business type of mentality.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you pretty much you're thinking about like, okay, what's gonna be my career? You know, this is just one step, you know, to the next level.
How do I
So,
get to be a pro or something?
yeah, so you probably mentally you're probably in a different position. You know, you're like more, okay, I need to start kind of make sure I have a good year. I get ready for the draft, and I start making my brand. You know,
Yeah.
So your mentality is probably a different. You know, and who knows? Even probably I don't know nothing about hockey, but I'm assuming it's kind of like in college football, where like you have the Big 12 and you know those big divisions where like the games are, and those first division the games are probably different too. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's NCAA, it's college sports in general. Once you get to that level where like, yeah, there's professional teams in the stands watching you or professional scouts, like, yeah, like it is a business. Those kids are there for a job. You think like these big universities aren't handing out free education, you know,
Yeah.
80 grand
to a
you
random
know, to some kid that's not going to come out and like play every day and treat it like a job. Like that is your job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's not really talked about because you think like, you know, what would you do for a full ride scholarship?
Right.
Not a whole lot of things you wouldn't do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what every athlete wants is the full ride and the, you know, I'm going to go whatever. I'm going to go pro.
Yeah.
Go
And you can blame those kids like,
Right. If you have the talent, right.
Yeah, you're talking about, you know, your life is gonna change. You know, if you make it, like you're not talking about like, oh, you're gonna get a $50,000, you know, job. You're talking about millions of dollars. So why not? You know.
Exactly.
Did you watch the 30 for 30 on the U?
Yes.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
wasn't that eye opening though?
That was incredible, man.
Like,
with Michael Irvin, right?
Yeah, it's like the first one was like the early '80s with like Michael Irvin, and the other one was with it was like early 2000s.
Right.
And it was like Al Blades and like Willis McGahee and and like Kellen Winslow.
Right.
All three of which I think are in jail currently, but
and he's a soldier, right?
Yeah,
and
dude,
he's a soldier.
Yeah, and but those are crazy. Those guys are sitting there like, listen, like if you don't give us some money to go get some food right now, like we're about to go do something.
Right.
You know, and like that's kind of scary to think. Like there needs to be a balance between those two of like,
and especially if you think about how much money college football make, like it's like they make millions or millions of dollars, and the university are going to like this poor neighborhoods and get their kids and you know not paying anything. And like it's not fair, you know. How many careers probably ended in just in college and didn't never make it to professional? You know, they didn't get any money.
Yeah.
So I was like, in a way, I was like, they should get more.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching.
I'm all for it, man. Yeah. I think they should. NCAA should pay for their. Right. They should pay them like their. Like I get like the whole like axiom of that conversation is like, well, they're getting a free education, like.
Right.
Yeah, but you also have to equip these kids to like live their life day to day, month to month.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, they're getting a free education, which is sick. They can pay for their books and their laptop, but like they can't get a meal. Like you need to pay them, or you need to allow them to go get a part-time job.
Yeah. Let me ask you actually something about that part. How many kids actually really going to class and really learning? Because I hear stories about a bunch of kids just they're like, nah, he's the star.
In the hockey team and stuff, in the hocky?
Not necessarily in hockey. I hear more in football because that was probably I have followed closer.
Right.
Not even closer. It's like I just kind of hear more stories from college football where like they say the kids don't even go to class. Probably they're spending time in the gym and their grades are just, you know, good enough to finish it. And
so would hockey work the same way? Like, I don't want to say Metro because you said they're not quite the first division, but
we're not Division 1.
But how does it work? I mean, do you have good students? Is it a similar concept?
The league requires them to be a 2.0 student and pass 18 credits in a year.
Wow,
which
that's actually
it's like not unreasonable though. Like I mean, that's 3 classes a semester.
Right.
You know, like that's really not that's not even a full load.
Right.
So it should be manageable. And yet again, every year I feel like we have like that one or two kids that are like, oh, coach, I can't do this. I'm ineligible. It's just like, dude, what have you been doing all semester?
That's the enforcer.
Yeah.
He's getting into fights.
Oh my god.
He says, "Well, all you got me doing is fighting. It's my brain."
What the fuck you think is happening? All the punches in my face.
Without naming names, like we had a player a few years back, 2 years ago, and he comes to me and he's like, well, here's my grades. Like, this is November, right? Fucking, 5 weeks left in the semester. Right. Of a 15-week semester or whatever it is. He's like, whoa, I gotta do this and do this. I'm like, dude, there's no way this is happening. You have a 13% in this class. Like, I was like, you're not going to class. I fucking know you're not, dude. Like, what are you doing besides this? Because you're not doing your homework. Like, you're not, like, I'm looking at his grades, like, bro, this ain't gonna happen for you, man. You're done. Like, he's like, well, I talked to my professor and she thinks that I could, like, maybe get it up. I was like,
from 13%.
Yeah, I was like, if you get 100% on every single thing you do from here on out, you could maybe get a D. Like,
you get 20% only for being class.
Like, I just like Metro's. I'm not gonna knock Metro, but like it's not,
right.
It's not Princeton. It's not University of Denver.
Gotcha.
It's not an Ivy League. Like it's a fucking state college. Like
it's the on-campus brewery they got, man.
Yeah, like it should be easy to fucking pass the
I'm
class.
proud about that. Okay, but when I know they have it, like, good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah. I have spent many an hour in the Tivoli.
Yeah. Do they have their? I'm assuming not only do they have their brewery, but do they have a nice little setup bar, like kind of like the
it's like a bar and restaurant.
Remember?
Yeah, they have the hotel, no? The hotel thing. It's called, right? I've been there. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the Tivoli is like the student center there.
Okay.
On the campus, and they have it's like a restaurant and bar.
Get your book, take a beer.
Yep.
Go on your way.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm an adult now. I could do that.
You most definitely could do that.
That's cool.
Nice,
I mean,
man.
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That is sweet, man.
Are you allowed to get drunk with the players?
There's nothing that says I can't.
Plus, they're his buddies, right? You said they were your actual friends.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but when you have a job, even if it's your buddies, that might change.
I mean, without going too in detail, like we were in Tempe, for 3 weeks ago, and it's for the regional tournament. We get bounced the first day. So fuck.
So you're done.
Yeah,
you got a lot of time on your hands.
We lose a heartbreaker 3-2. So our season's over. So all the boys, like they're all 23, 24.
Right.
We're like, all right, well, we have 48 hours before we got to be on a plane back to Denver. So it was basically a 47.5-hour pool party / going to the bars at Mill Ave. If you've ever been to Tempe, like it's ridiculous. It was their spring break down there for ASU.
Nice.
So we're at like Dirk's Bentley Whiskey Row. It was. We have a player on our team that's been sober for like 3 years. So we're like, hey man, like you want to drive the 15-passenger van? You want to take a group of guys out to the bars? He's like, yeah, fuck, why not?
Why not?
So we're down there just, having a great time. And yeah, I mean, we're smart about it. Like we make sure nobody's getting arrested.
Right. Everybody's doing.
Nobody's drinking and
fun.
driving.
Yeah.
Like the underage guys obviously aren't getting to the bars and shit. So like, I mean,
so it kind of sounds like you were somewhat thankful you lost, man. The losing culture in hockey brings on some good times. It sounds.
I mean, we're drinking to drink our sorrows away, or we're drinking to celebrate.
There you go.
But I mean, would have been nice to fucking win.
Would
have been nice to go out Saturday night.
Victory
after we just were like, yeah, fuck yeah, we just punched our ticket.
Yeah,
victory party.
You know what I mean? Not going out being like, boo. Fuck.
Give me one more, dude. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, the bartenders out there, like everybody in Tempe, is a fucking Instagram model.
Wow.
Like legitimately, we had a player transfer from Arizona State. So he's out there and he's like, I know all the places to go. I know all the people here like that we got, so he's like our tour guide or whatever.
Gotcha.
we get to this bar, and legitimately the bartenders are wearing like their panties and like a black bra.
Nice.
And yeah, so I mean,
It's warm enough out there. It makes sense. Yeah.
easy to run up $100 tab
Right.
at a place like that.
And if they're nicer, a little bit more.
Yeah.
130.
Oh, yeah. So we were there, but like it's, you know, all these like bartenders and drink girls and stuff are like, oh, I'm going to school. I'm also have 30,000 followers because I have a
Right.
big fat butt.
And Instagram career. Yeah.
Yeah. I also have an Instagram career.
Hey,
I
some of
monetize
them-
my Snapchat.
Some of them make good money.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sure.
I'm sure they are not hurting for money.
Yeah.
That's right.
If there's, I mean, there was 12 teams out there at the regional tournament. All but 2 of them got bounced, so I'm sure they, unless they're just not fun, they were doing the
Right.
exact same thing we were.
Exactly.
So I'm sure they probably were like, yeah. all
They
right.
were sitting there saying, "What did you say your name was again? Let me find you. Follow.
Let me find out the score.
Yep.
Oh, you lost.
Like, oh, you guys are drinking because you won? Nope.
No. She's like, "Oh, I met like 40 of you earlier. Yeah, you're all here for the same thing."
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
we were able to blend in. It was spring training out there too,
Oh, nice. Nice.
which was cool. I didn't get to go see a game because we were doing drinking.
Right.
We were busy.
He says there was a really cool thing to do. I didn't do it. I got drunk.
I was really busy.
I was still pretty upset. So
Yeah, it makes sense. Excusable.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice weather. I was like, what are you doing sitting there having a beer? I'm upset, okay? I lost the game. God damn it.
Leave me alone.
Nice, man.
But, so I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I was listening to one of your episodes.
Sure.
The one you're talking about. I think you're talking about you went to Amsterdam. You're saying you're not a pay for play guy. Is that the case?
You're asking me personally?
Yeah, because I just thought as soon as I heard you say that, I was like, no way,
Yeah.
no way, he's lying on his podcast.
Damn.
Cut the camera. No, just play. No.
Thank you for carrying.
Like you're in Amsterdam.
Uh-huh.
Let me set this up for you. You're
Yeah.
just crippled drunk,
Fire away.
right? You just are basically falling into a bar with your pants off.
Gotcha. It's not a Denver Friday. It's an Amsterdam Friday.
It's an Amsterdam Friday.
Gotcha.
Single as can be.
Right.
You're not hurting anybody's feelings or nothing like that. You're doing your thing. You're a pay
Gotcha.
for play guy.
I would have to say no, man.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
and maybe it's an ego thing. Cause I don't
You'd
know
rather
what,
wheel sixes at the bar than pay for a dime.
I don't want to ever feel like I had to pay. And maybe that's what it is. And
I'm
as
with you.
and living in this world we do today, like the type of girls that come around us, the type of girls that this Instagram generation, like
You're not trying to get me too'd. That's what you're saying.
no. I'm saying like you're not struggling as much to. It shouldn't be that hard. So if you ever, even in Amsterdam, have to pay, like part of it, it's not
Pay for a pro?
it's not a victory dance. It's a quiet shame. I think it's a silent dance. Yeah.
It's a silent dance. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I put in that situation.
Well,
I don't know what I would like to say the same thing that like I wouldn't either,
right.
but I don't know.
Especially there, because you're thinking about the Amsterdam culture, right? If as people, as a culture,
It's like it's acceptable there.
right, they're selling their girls in windows. Some girls that choose. Well, you would think that if you go to the club or the bar, that same culture exists because that's who they are. If they could sell a girl at a window, then you can probably get laid at
Sell
the
a
bar.
girl in a club.
Yeah, you could probably get laid at the bar, and you won't feel like not only did I waste my money, but I wasn't able to
You
do
don't
it
have
on
to
my
come
own.
home and get a penicillin shot.
I mean, you'll be very surprised actually. There's a lot of people out there that is, it's hard to be social, I mean, for them, and have that. It's not that easy for them to go up out and and be
Sounds like a personal knowledge here. Like this
No.
is the guy you should have been asking. He was actually
Oh,
there.
you were there, huh?
I was there, but
right, let's
I
give us the
didn't have the
beats.
need, so
Yeah.
I was okay.
Yeah.
If I would be on need, I would
Yeah.
probably, who knows, being drunk, and being because you can go inside of those places and have drinks. Who knows if you're there and you see just that one girl is like out of
Out of this world. Yeah.
and you drunk.
And
Who knows? And
I guess
and the price wasn't bad.
I guess I will say this. We've all been, or at least I won't speak for you guys, but we've all been to some strip clubs here in the States, here in our cities, right? And when I did go to England, man, we did stop by at a strip club that I'm not going to lie to you. It was like kind of what you're saying, where you walked in and you've never seen in your life. Like you couldn't imagine, like even in your best private moments, you couldn't imagine what you saw. So I've lived the moment where you're like, what the hell? Like humans look like this or this exists. And I did come back like, maybe like a year later.
With a positive test.
Maybe like like a year later during a bachelor party, we're at a strip club in Denver and like me and
You're like, this is whack.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
and that was the best they had to offer. And you're thinking like, I've seen better. Like forever in my life, I'll be sad because I've seen better.
Yeah.
But even then, I think I won't pay, man. I just wouldn't pay. But you bring up this whole thing, our little devious thoughts here brought something up in my mind, like the following culture in hockey, like a college team or in hockey in general, like the girls, like if you talk a football player, you got the player, right? You got he gets the girl. So what is that culture like in Metro, in college hockey, and hockey in general? The following, the girl culture.
You would be shocked.
Okay.
There's, I guess, a preferred term is puck bunnies.
Gotcha. Just like the preferred term for this was
Natty daddies.
natty daddies.
Yeah.
We got natty daddies. We got
Puck bunnies.
puck bunnies.
It's, the whole time I was playing at Metro, I had a girlfriend. So,
You see how sad he got? Like his face was like, well,
no,
for me.
no.
Yeah.
God, I love her.
Are you
Love
still
to
with
death.
her? You're
I
still
am.
with her.
I
Okay.
am.
Okay,
Yeah,
it makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
let's go with
Jokes
that story.
out the window. Jokes out the window.
I told her what I was doing. She's like, yeah, I'm not listening to that. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
right.
sick. Thanks for the support.
Right.
But
Okay, let's believe that story. Okay.
yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these, like our team now, like there's a lot. If you get a good group where there's a lot of single guys, it can, it's a rodeo every night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
doesn't have to be hockey, right? Young single dudes are just gonna go nuts.
Exactly. Young, single, you're collegiate athlete, like these guys,
Even if they
good-looking
just-
kids, like
Even if they just work at a hotel.
yeah. Exactly. Sometimes you just turn your place of business into a nightclub.
You got to do what you got to do. That's right.
But yeah, it's there's a couple guys on the team that are just hounds.
Just
Yeah.
that is their job.
Yeah.
Hockey is their hobby.
And they're very, very good at it.
Gotcha.
But I love going out with them though, because it's a great time. And you kind of can go in and, talking about going to the strip clubs. We try to, occasionally visit when we're out of town.
You try to incorporate that.
Yeah,
It's part of practice. Yeah.
It's a team building
It's
experience.
a team building. I
you know?
gotcha.
Like, all right, this kid's 18 years old, never been. We need to get him his first
You know what?
dance.
I think you found your equipment manager right here.
We'll take you on. You're in, buddy. But you book the tables and
Right.
and get the money for us, and we'll be good to go.
Where's Levi? He didn't show up. He had a long night.
As
Yeah.
soon you guys go to any city, he will disappear for the
Yeah.
rest of the
Oh,
trip.
man.
He just didn't show up. Yeah.
My first year, we traveled a lot. And
Okay.
we went to Arkansas, we went to Alabama, we went to Chicago, we went
Nice.
to Arizona,
Nice.
we went to
You're talking good, man.
Mexico,
Give me
like-
the best cities, the best hockey cities, maybe fan base, best hockey cities, and you personally, like fun wise visiting? Because maybe we could plan our next trips here. Like, give me some cities.
Tempe was a good one.
Was a good one. Okay.
I mean, obviously it's Arizona State. Like,
right.
You know, that's a no-brainer.
It's another level.
Chicago was a lot of fun.
Nice.
We spent most of our time at the rink. Like, hockey's weird. Like, you get done and you have like a night, maybe two. But we spent a lot of time in Wrigleyville, which if you're ever out there, that's a fun.
Is it by the stadium?
Yeah, it's right by Wrigley Field.
Okay.
And that little like row of bars or whatever is awesome. We were at one and it was like the bottom half was a lounge, like a piano player and like kind of like dueling piano shit. The back was a strip club. And then you went up the stairs and it was like they had a batting cage in the middle of the bar. Wow. Yeah, it was nuts, but it was the most ruthless batting cage I've ever seen in my life. Like, there's no chance I was getting in there. We had one of our guys, hey, Dickie, get in there, go. The whole time, everybody, all the drunks standing around the fence are just chirping the shit out of him. Oh, that's a swing you're bringing? Holy fuck. And just letting this guy have it. I was like, no chance I'm getting in there, man.
Right. My mom hits better than that.
Yeah,
right?
unless you're like actually swinging away on like the 88 mile an hour pitches. Like, you're fucked.
Right.
If you pick 60, they're just everybody in the bar is dummying you. If you're picking 80 and you're swinging and missing,
right,
like, you're getting dummied. There's
so
not a whole lot of upside.
You're not going to escape the shit talking.
Yeah. Alabama and Nashville was a lot of fun. Nashville is a fun city, right. Man. I mean, bars don't close until like 5 a.m. out there.
Wow.
That was the national tournament my freshman year, was in Alabama, in Huntsville. And so it was like 3 hours. So we flew in and out of Nashville and just drove.
Wow.
But so we ended up staying. We got bounced like the third or fourth day of the national tournament and just had 2 days to ourselves in Nashville, which was awesome.
Nice.
Just get bundled on Broadway Avenue. It's just like, the thing is, though, I didn't know this until I went out there. We had a vet with us, one of our old coaches. He's like, listen, you can go in the front. All the bars are free. There's no covers. But if you go in the back alley, it's $5 or whatever, you get right in. So if you're ever in Nashville, pay the fucking $5 or $10 or whatever it is to get right in. Don't stand in the line with all the peasants out there. Yeah. Freaking... No way. No chance.
I'm liking this hockey culture, man. When your coach is like, let me tell you the best strip clubs and how to get there.
And how to get in.
That's the right information to get in.
Yeah. Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's a city.
It's a city.
That's another one. We, go out there for a tournament, get bounced early, have 3 days in Grand Rapids, and just spend it boozing the whole time. Usually if we get knocked out or if our trip's done and you got extra days, it makes no sense to spend more money to get an earlier flight. You just are basically on vacation for 3 days.
So I see a theme here, man. Like, every story you're telling is, so we bounced out early. Either your coach or the players are like, this city's pretty cool. Let's
when you do the same thing though, like if you were a player, when you do the same thing, I see myself, like, every time that you tell a story, I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there too.
Yeah. But for the love of the game, like what he said earlier,
I love the game too.
Yeah.
a lot of those trips, you got to think, like, I'm talking, those are the I guess the 5 or 6 that were, especially the Nationals ones, you play 4 days straight and you get bounced.
Right.
And it's the end of your year. You know what I mean? You lost your last game of the year. It's kind of your year-end celebration.
It's like your kid when you were a kid. It's your pizza celebration.
Exactly.
Like, everybody goes out for pizza.
Yeah. But I mean, the other story, we basically keep it to like, all right, it's business until that last game of the weekend, and then time is yours.
We don't go for pizza. We go for strippers.
Yeah. This year we won our conference. We won the regular season conference.
Nice.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
Like early game, like 3:45 start or something. So Saturday night
How are you guys playing, man? We don't know much about hockey, but how is your team? How would you grade your team? And you don't necessarily have to go into detail. You don't want to offend anybody, but you got a good team. What's your record like?
A very good team. So that like I said, we got bounced in Tempe. That was the end of our season.
Gotcha.
This was the 6th year in a row that we've made a postseason appearance. So we're there every year.
Nice.
2 of those were at the national tournament. I think we finished ranked number 6 my freshman year.
Wow.
Number 10 my sophomore year. But our team is young, man. Like this year we were 21, 7-0-1.
Wow.
We were, for the record, we were 5-1 against your CSU Rammies. Just
go ahead and cut the camera. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw you guys played the Rams.
Yeah. So they're
Rams
in our
any good in
conference.
hockey or no?
They are.
Okay.
They're traditionally very, very good.
Okay.
So this year we were just better.
That's not going to happen very often. So enjoy it. Yeah.
But yeah, we won our regular season conference title. Obviously had a party.
Obviously.
Come back, revisit, back to business, and we won our. We had the conference playoffs. Played CSU the first game. We were the number 1 seed, so we pooped on them.
Gotcha.
And then played Northern Colorado the next day and won. They were up 3-0, and we came back and won it 4-3 in overtime.
Very nice.
Right.
So it sounds like you got
and had a rager.
Sounds like you have a good team, man.
Yeah, it's a very good team.
That's awesome.
Like I said, a lot of the core group is sophomores. We had a really good class that came in that year, and it was just we lost 4 to graduation this year, which were like 4 huge pieces of our team.
It's a huge loss.
Yeah, they were big losses, but we're returning a big core group that's going to be good for another 3-4 years.
Are those games, or can people see and like watch it on TV or?
Yeah, like there's a lot, like we like stream them and shit on YouTube and stuff.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm assuming after, or is it a live stream?
A lot of teams will do live streams. Like
Okay.
Utah State has a really good one. They have, like a broadcast team that comes out that's super professional. They're like not the most hockey knowledgeable people. A lot of the time they spend just crushing the visiting team, just
Gotcha.
players.
No wonder they want to watch
dude,
it.
That's honestly half of the fun of traveling is like I get the game tape and I just watch it and listen to them shit on all of our players and our coaches and our whole program. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, come on, that's not true.
So as a casual fan, like me, Christian, like a casual fan, what's the best way to follow your team? How can we follow Metro State University hockey?
All of our socials, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
What are they? Just
MSU Denver Hockey.
Okay, MSU Denver Hockey to follow you guys.
Our website, msudenverhockey.com.
And you got your standings, your schedule, who you play.
Yep. And unfortunately, we're done for the year.
Gotcha.
We're in drinking and golf season right now.
Right.
But
they're going to live stream their time off, their beach trips.
Yeah, we try to, I think we actually are going to have a golf tournament this summer, just like a fundraiser golf tournament.
Charity thing?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Maybe
you guys
some
should
of us could go.
definitely
Yeah.
come through. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
fun.
I'm a pretty terrible golfer, but
right.
I mean,
but you're a good storyteller and a hell of a drinker, so I'm in.
Yeah, see, that's basically our first interview question. How's your drinking game?
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna start with it in the next interviews with that.
What position you play? D? All right, cool. We use a D.
Come on in. The kid is like, you know what? I don't like drinking. He's like, yeah, but he was a state champion. That's okay. You can leave. The door's over there. So.
Maybe try down the road, Northern Colorado or Colorado State.
Right.
Colorado State's some squids. I'm sorry, Levi. I gotta keep dinging you.
No,
man,
no, you're representing your team. You're a coach.
You
I
know.
got you. Speaking of which, now that you bring it up like that and try to hate on what's good, let me say it this way: like, how is Metro seen? Because I know how they're seen as a school, right? So you got CU, you got CSU. They're the two big ones.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like college hockey, is it seen different? Is Metro seen different? How's it considered? How's the culture of hockey amongst the schools in Colorado? Which you got. I won't even say the name. It's like the Harry Potter name. We won't say that one in Boulder, but we got CSU, we got the other demon, and then we got you guys. So like, how are you seen as as a team?
Our performance on the ice. Really this year.
Culture. How do other schools see you? Because we know how we see
Our
you.
hockey team. They probably view us as dirtbags.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, everybody else we play is shitbags.
Yeah.
Our culture. It's a commuter campus, man. So we don't have the following that like Northern Colorado does.
Right.
Like you go up to Greeley, they sell that place out.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Once again, the little towns. Like I can slander my own environment. I freaking went to high school and shit in Greeley, but like fucking sucks. There's not a whole lot to do. There's 3 bars that are owned by the same dude,
Right?
Who does the same bullshit every
Gotcha.
week in and week out. You know what I mean? So like those guys, their fans just get bundled and go to the hockey games.
So you're saying these other teams are more embraced? You
Yes.
think? Okay.
Yes. Colorado State, same thing. They have two hockey teams there. So they have they have a Division II team that plays in our conference.
Okay.
Who we were 4-0 against.
Right.
And then they have a Division I program, which is up a level from us, and we were 1-1 against them.
And they won't even look at you. I got it.
But well, they this year was the first year they played us in like 3 years, and they were technically exhibition games because they don't count for our standings or their standings because they're a D1 program, we're a D2.
Okay.
But still beat them.
All right. Well, we need to wrap it up because we already over
an hour. Man, that was a good talk. You took us over the hour, man. Good job.
Yeah,
so
sorry,
no,
you're good.
It's
You're
good,
good.
man. What's coming for you guys? What's coming for the team right now?
For Brady, the coach, like what do you got coming up?
Fundraiser golf tournament and
Which day?
I don't know.
Okay.
I still got to plan that.
Well, follow you, right? Follow you on social media and find out.
Yep. We're hopefully get back there next year.
Okay.
We got a couple fun trips planned. That's kind of been the theme of this one. We're going to Virginia next year.
Okay.
Going to Boise, Idaho.
Nice.
That'll be a fun one.
That'll be a good one.
But yeah.
Nice, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
it.
For sure.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
bore you. Your audience is gonna be like, "Who's this guy?"
No,
Talking about strippers and natty lights. And
no, we definitely entertained, man. You know that we've always been entertained, and I'm glad you've come a long way, man. Coach Brady.
yeah.
Those are my type of conversations.
Do private social? You want people to follow you? Do you want to?
Yeah,
give
MSU
us
Denver
the-
Hockey.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook,
Okay.
Twitter.
Gotcha.
I think I'm pretty hilarious on Twitter. So
Yeah, all right. We'll follow you on Twitter.
I try to stay off the team count. You know.
Right. Just
Just,
your personal one. What's your personal one?
Brady Husky.
Brady Husky on all social media.
Yep.
Brady Husky.
At Brady Husky.
At Brady Husky. All right. Perfect.
All right.
Sounds
Thanks, boys.
good.
All right.
And everybody who's listened to this episode can find it on YouTube and our channel, the Concoction Podcast, and social media. What's the social media? You're in charge of that. I leave it to you.
Instagram at the Concoction Podcast, same as Facebook at the Concoction Podcast, and Twitter is the Concoction One. And our YouTube channel, be sure to follow us, subscribe, like us, comment, love us, and it's
That's right. Embrace us.
embrace us, embrace us, the Concoction Podcast.
Let
Yeah.
us into your life.
That's right.
The audio of this episode will be ready on Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes tomorrow. What's today? I don't even know what's today. March.
March something,
26 or something.
26. Sounds accurate.
Yeah, sounds good. It works for me.
Yep.
26 March 27 Wednesday will be ready. Available in all the
Platforms.
platforms. We'll have the video on the weekend, so hopefully people like it and follow us and subscribe and enjoy this episode. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys later. Thank you, Bernie.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.